Nice introduction.
Yeah, it felt really good. Good to be out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of going on the road this week against a much tougher opponent, it looks like they definitely mix up their looks on the front seven quite a lot. What are you seeing from a blocking perspective? How do you guys feel like you're gonna match up against that?
Like you said, they mix up the looks a lot. We've been watching film all week and just doing a lot of game plan, and we get a bunch of different looks. There's a bunch of odd, there's a bunch of even. They play with a spinner, they play with a bunch of different personnel. So for us, also the guys are physical. It's a bunch of big physical guys. They're really big, good athletes. You got some good pass rushers on there. You got some solid dudes, who are anchors on the D line and who could really anchor down. So we're gonna play good D line, a good team. Which we knew coming into it. We just got to prepare. Just knowing that. We just have to prepare knowing we're going to be playing a talented team and a team that's not going to back down. So, I feel like we'll be prepared coming in there.
How did it feel to go out and get 3 catches the first game? We've talked about you being kind of a blocker guy, and to actually go out there and get 3 receptions the first game.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt natural. I felt like pass catching is something that comes natural to me. In terms of coming here, I'd say the transition a little bit more was route running. Not really pass catching, but just being able to get out there and catch passes again and move around and move in space. It just felt good. It felt natural. I'm excited to keep doing it throughout the year.
How do you feel the chemistry is building between you and Emery out there on the field?
Pretty good. I feel like it's building really well. I feel like I've become somebody that he trusts in the pass game, and I feel like he definitely looks for me, when he's making his reads, and I know that, he trusts me to come up and, bring it down pretty much. If he puts it up, he trusts me to bring it down. So, I love playing with him. He's a tremendous athlete. He adds a dynamic to the game that not a lot of quarterbacks can with his legs, and he can really, really move around. But he's a really damn good thrower too. So, I love playing with him. I'm really excited, that we get a whole season together, and I'm excited to play next Saturday.
In a game like the one against NAU, obviously there wasn't a whole lot of need to throw the ball down the field once you guys kind of established dominance. How much more is in the tank for you in the passing game? What can we expect to see from that on Saturday?
Yeah, I feel like, we only haven't even scratched the surface yet with our offense. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we can do and a whole bunch of stuff that we've installed throughout the spring and the summer and, during fall camp. But with a game like last weekend, we only showed so much, I felt like, and I only felt like we didn't really have to show a whole lot at that point in the game. So I feel like, there's some pretty cool things in the past game that, we've yet to do, and that I feel like we'll do in these upcoming weeks, and especially this weekend. I feel like not just me, but the receivers and the other tight ends too. There's a whole bunch of opportunities for everybody in the pass game. So, I'm excited to see, the things that, we bring out in this game plan.
Can you talk about Coach Wood and how he's worked with you on the pass catching part of the game? And what kind of coach is he?
Coach Wood is tremendous with the pass catching part of the game. He played quarterback, so he knows like what quarterbacks want and what quarterbacks like to see from their receivers. So it's really awesome working with Coach Wood because I've never really had. Coach Wood's like the first tight ends coach that I've had that really, really has honed in on the pass game for me. Just route running and recognizing coverages and just little route running techniques that I didn't really know before I came here. Prior to this, I knew use my athleticism and use my size and my skill to get open. But what Coach Wood is actually teaching me how to put it all together. Using my natural ability and using little things that he's taught me in the pass game. So I feel like I'm definitely progressing day by day. I feel like in the season I feel like for me personally in the season that's where I progress the most and get better, just football wise, So Wood has been tremendous with that, and I love listening to the little gems that he drops every day and just the stuff that he tells us in the film room and then also out on the field.
Their secondary, Oklahoma State's secondary, appears to be a little bit thin. They didn't really have as much starting experience returning. I think that probably showed a little bit last week. They gave up quite a few yards. Is that something that you guys feel like you can exploit this week and really break out that and really show what this passing game can maybe do?
I don't feel like we're not coming in underestimating anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're coming in. We're playing a really freaking good team. They're number 11 in the country, so you have to take all those things into consideration. They're number 11 for a reason, and some of the guys that are starting now were on the team last year. When those guys were top 5, top 6 in the country. So we're never going to underestimate anybody. We've seen certain things in the film room that hopefully that we can take advantage of and that we're planning, doing. That's the whole point of practicing and watching film and game planning all week is just to find little things that you can take advantage of. So yeah, I think we'll take advantage of some things in the past game, but definitely never going to underestimate these guys.
How ready do you think they'll be for you? Just in terms of, there's, like Jack mentioned, there's not a lot of tape on you in this offense, as well as the development that Coach Wood, that you worked on with him. How do you think they'll defend you?
I think they'll be ready. I feel like, it's a really good team, and it's a really good defense. We know that they lost some guys, but, these are still all a really well-coached group, really talented players, and I feel like, we play at this high level of college football for a reason, so I feel like they'll be prepared for sure. But it's my job just to be more prepared. So that's what I plan on doing.
Throughout the preseason, Coach Wood spent a lot of time on sort of the relationship between the tackles and tight ends as far as the run blocking schemes and things of that nature. Looking back at the tape, a lot of your guys' successful run plays, you were you had a big impact on those. How comfortable do you feel with all of the different assignments that you have to have in the run game, while also considering the kind of emphasis you said you had in route running and things like that?
Yeah, I feel pretty good with it. It's definitely something that is a new responsibility to me in terms of just doing everything, because I feel like where I played before this, it was just mostly personnel plays and package plays that I was going in on, so I really only had to do, one thing. But now it's, I'm playing tight end, and the job of a tight end is to block in the run game and catch passes in the pass game and run routes. So, I feel like it's not something that's, I would say, is hard to me, but it's just something that's new. I just have to just keep getting used to, and that, comes with time. But, I just have to do my job and, do my best to prepare in the film room and go over looks and go over, different looks in the run game and, different fronts and defenses. So that's my job to prepare for that. And, I feel like I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll be prepared every Saturday.
Xavier had a pretty. Go ahead.
Do you feel like your passing game is up to the same parts? Running game, obviously, you've had a lot of experience blocking. Do you feel like it's at the same level now?
I feel like, I don't know. I don't really know. I've never really thought about if they're even yet. I just try to take advantage of the opportunities I have in both. I definitely feel like my run game has definitely even advanced throughout this year. And just better with. I feel like I'm every day just getting a little bit better with recognition. And then my pass game is advancing. So I feel like they're both advancing at a pretty equal pace. I don't really know if one is caught up to the other yet or which one is more strong. Maybe my coaches can tell you that, but I don't really know. I just kind of just go out there and just play. So my job is to play tight end, do both at the highest of my abilities. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Xavier had a pretty big game last Thursday. What about his play style makes some things easier on you as a run blocker?
It's pretty. X is a really elusive back. It's I've got to play with guys like him before, and it's really fun to block for them because you block and you see them cut off your block and break for another 20 yards, and it kind of makes your job easy when somebody who's that elusive can put his foot in the ground and plant, is running behind you. So it's really fun just to watch him play and just to watch the stuff he does on film and just to be able to block for him. So, I really enjoy playing with X. And he's also a really good dude too. So I love having him as a teammate.
What was your basketball position inside?
The 4 or 5. Played 4 or 5 pretty much.
So have you seen any of those basketball crossover moves translate to your releases at all?
Yeah, kinda. In terms of a bunch of release moves at the line, I feel like I'm getting a lot better with that, and that's something that me and Coach would have talked about that I've really progressed with. But in terms of a whole bunch of moves at the line, I feel like that's something I'm starting to implement in my game. But I also have to realize that I'm a pretty big dude and I'm pretty strong and fast for my size. So I just always first try to take advantage of my size, and then if I see a look, and then play off of that. But some of the basketball moves, of course they come into it. A lot of it is posting up, posting up and playing the 4-5. You post up a lot, so I feel like a lot of my game definitely implements basketball. Just using my space and just creating space and using my size. So not a lot of dribble moves, but just being able to use my size.
What's the difference having the ball in your hands compared to just running free?
Yeah, it's a little different. It's just a little more to focus on. Football is just you can move without the ball. You could try to kind of freestyle a little bit. So it's definitely a part of my game now. Since being here working with Wood and just harping on that, trying to implement it more. You know, but it's definitely a part of it. I feel like that's a part of my game.
Chad, he was saying one of the things that he got here, of course, he was going up against Chase Lucas and Jack Jones.
Yeah,
They got him right.
For sure.
He said the biggest thing he learned was using his head to sell vertical every single route. What was one of the biggest things that Wood worked you on?
Really just like my pad level. You know, I have a tendency to sometimes play high a little bit. So Wood has just really been harping on my pad level and my releases, not taking a false step, because, you know, a false step puts you back a little bit. You know, it takes a little bit more time to come off the ball than usual. So really just focus on not using a false step. You know, like I said, my pad level, because if I'm high and a defender's right in front of me, I'm giving them my chest. You know what I'm saying? So just my pad level, you know, not false stepping and just running. I feel like a big thing for me is just playing at top speed. You know, I feel like if I play at top speed, then I feel, you know, pretty hard to cover. So, you know, that's what Wood has really been harping on. My top, you know, playing with my pad level and playing at top speed. That's the two things we talk about every day. All right, thank you guys.